Anatomy of My Boredom, Anatomy of My Butthole.
You complain about the life that you chose. You are not a victim.
In honor of Oscar week, I wanted to examine what some of the everyday people are saying about these Best Picture nominees, specifically the half-star reviews. Now, I usually don't love giving a lot of attention to people who are negative and contrarian just for the sake of doing so, but some of them have good points, like this one, so boring, don't even know the end of the story, no interesting shots, or this one, Anatomy of Me nearly falling asleep while watching this. No jokes, no music, and an uninteresting story to back it up. So we are not glorifying adultery? Is that what we are doing? I'm glad to know. The entire premise of the movie is terrible. Hello, people, Nora is married. I think if you're gonna go into this much detail, you should at least double check your sources and make sure you understood the premise of the film. Watched like 1/3, no point. My favorite types of reviews are the ones where people didn't finish the movie, like this one right here. Another green book for the Oscars. Sorry, but watching this movie felt like eating a sleeve of stale saltine crackers with no bev.
You are a very talented writer.
This movie could have just been an email. I skipped to Florence Pugh's spicy scene because I love her, but the rest was so mind-numbingly boring, I didn't finish. I think that's 3 DNFs we're up to now. Have you ever the urge to humanize a man who killed 110,000 people?
The men who gave them the power to destroy themselves.
Some funny scenes and great performances, but ultimately so overhyped. This review is an example of a trope I really dislike, when we don't actually state what we disliked about the movie, but all we're doing with our reviews is just responding to other people's hype or disdain towards it. Overrated. Funny, but Def didn't do what people think it did for feminism.
You set the feminist movement back 50 years.
Top 5 worst movie of all time. Parents, protect your daughters from this movie. All other humans, protect your time and do anything else with your 2 hours. I felt like I was having a stroke from how fast the dialogue is in. Had to watch while playing Subway Surfers and still fell asleep. Where was the music? I watched for the music. There was no music. I feel like this review is gaslighting me because there was definitely music in this film. This was the stupidest lack of music I ever heard. He was a conductor, composer, and teacher, and there was still no music. The zone of disinterest, extremely tedious and looks like it was shot with an iPhone. Buddy, that is not at all what an iPhone would look like. This movie is totally not for me. I found it quite boring. There are no close-up shots of the characters, so you feel distant from the story. Additionally, they speak in German, which makes it harder to connect with. Somebody has got to break the news to this guy that you don't want to connect to the protagonists in this film. As much as this is historical, very dark and all that, I just skipped to the last part because there's really not much going on in the film. A woman with a child's brain has sex with men. A woman with a child's brain has sex with a man in front of children. A woman with a child brain is surrounded by and looks to men for her personal female empowerment. A woman with a child's brain. This is the exact type of review I expected to see under this film, as it seems that so many people are forgetting that this is a completely fictional story, and their lack of media literacy and understanding the point of this film is really shown. Horrible movie. I'm actually kind of disgusted with myself for making it over an hour into this before I physically couldn't watch it anymore. Only a man could come up with something as sinister as this story.
And your sad face makes me discover angry feelings for you.
A movie by Wes Anderson if he were a predator. If this reviewer is somehow watching this video, I beg you to watch more movies, because you will quickly discover that Wes Anderson movies look nothing like this Terrible one. Dead Poets Society knockoff. I got an actor with lazy shrimp eyes to play Robin Williams. Not a comedy.
Sir, I don't understand.
That's glaringly apparent.
Hugh Grant is not in this film. Generally, I'm not the biggest fan of accounts like this that are clearly just trying to gain followers through memes, but I gotta give some credit where it's due because this one is at least pretty consistent. Fund public schools.
Find the world a bitter and complicated place, and it seems to feel the same way about me.